The Grand Rapids Public Library is working to keep kids engaged in reading throughout winter break. Betsy Zanstra with the library joining us live with more on their appealing initiative. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us bright and early. Let's dive right in and tell us all about the services you offer.
Yeah, great. So right now, over winter break, we have quite a few things to offer at the library that you can still pick up in person, even though our doors aren't fully open for everyone. So we have some great book bundles. Those are books that you can request via a form on our website, and so you can ask for the type of book that you want and the number of books that you want. There's a comment box, so you can ask for certain genres or certain reading levels, and that's available for all ages, kids all the way through adults. For younger kids specifically, kind of age 0 to 5, we have some great story time kits. Those include a book that you can keep. You don't have to return it back to the library. Some great literacy tips for parents, some activities to do with your children that kind of go along with those literacy tips. And those are available in English and Spanish. We also have a bunch of craft kits that are just paper bags full of cool craft materials that you can pick up and bring home and do with your kid. And these are all available via our GRPL to go curbside service. So as well as just putting a regular book on hold and reserving it that way, you can also get a lot of items these other ways too.
Betsy, that's awesome. It sounds like there's a lot of things happening at Grand Rapids Public Library. Now, for the kids who've been at home since the start of this pandemic, I'm sure putting a book in their hand and taking away the screen has been a difficult task for mom and dad. Do you have any tips to help mom and dad actually do that?
Yeah, definitely. So part of getting kids to read, to pick up a book, to get away from the screens is finding a book that they want to read and want to look at. So at the library, I mean, we have all sorts of books, picture books, nonfiction books, graphic novels, regular novels, different reading levels. So a real key to helping kids find that love of reading, or just kind of getting them to pick up a book sometimes, is finding figuring out what they do like to read. And part of the beauty of the library is, I mean, you can try all sorts of different materials. So I think for parents too, sometimes they want their kids to read specific things or try certain things, and especially over break when it isn't like assigned reading from school, just kind of trying to find things that your kid is interested in. So, I mean, if they're interested in something that they're learning about, or something that they see, or just a certain type of story, just try to find materials that they would like to do. Our book bundles are a really great option for that, because you can just kind of put in some comments like, ooh, I think my kid likes this sort of thing, or they were talking about this the other day. We can just get a slew of books, stick them right on hold for you, and you can just come to the library and pick them up. And if your kid doesn't like them, you can do it again. There's no limit to how many times you can try that. So part of it is really just figuring out like, oh, well, maybe my kid isn't into this type of reading, try a graphic novel. Or maybe this book is like at their grade level, reading level, but that's just not what they're wanting to read. Try something a little easier or a little more challenging. It's a great way to just kind of spark that interest in reading and getting a book that's interested. Once the kid's interested, it's sometimes hard to put it down.
Most definitely. I can totally agree with that. Betsy, you've been wonderful, very informative. Thank you for your time here at Fox 17.